Hey guys, we're back, and this time we're going to be taking a look at my 3D printed insert for Twilight Imperium 4th edition. And I didn't make these files, I found them on Thingiverse. I'll put a link down in the description. And I customized a couple things, changed one thing in there to make it compatible with all the codexes. But other than that, everything is there, and now we're going to get right in and take a look. We'll point out that there is a slight bit of lid lift, if you can see there, and that's only because I laminated all of my player boards and components, as well as have all the books in here, which you'll see. So you can see we have all the books in here. There's the Lore Compendium and the Prophecy of Kings Lore Compendium. We have the Learn to Play Guide, the Rules Reference, the Expansion Rules, and then Codex Volume 2 actually got printed out. I might get Codex Volume 1 and 3 if they ever actually do 3 this way. 1 is hard to come by for some reason. They keep selling out, so don't have the official books of those, but I do have the cards in here for them. So then on top here we have our quick reference, the boards for the heroes, and you can see there the gloss on them because they are laminated, which also makes them considerably thicker, which is why, again, I said the lid lifts a little. I don't think it will, at least if you leave out the lore books and the non-laminated boards, I don't think you'll have a problem with that. But we have all 8 colors here of those. I'm going to try to keep everything right together here. So then on this side we have your tactical boards. Again, all 8 colors, laminated. They are considerably shinier now. I didn't realize how shiny that made them, but yeah, those again, all 8 color to those. Then we have all 24. I know there's 25 now. I don't have that one yet. It's on the way though. But again, these are laminated for all the various races. And split them into 2 stacks just to even it out a little to cover the top. Then we start getting into the actual insert itself here. So I'm going to have to probably slide this up to make some room. Try to keep it on camera here. The first thing, obviously, are the player trays. And there is one of these for each of the 8 colors. You have all of your tech cards pertaining to that color. Trade agreements and things are in there as well. All your various components. You have your War Suns down here with the flagship, cruisers, carriers, the PDS and the bases are in here. You have the destroyers, dreadnoughts, infantry, color-coded dice for each of them, so we don't have to hand dice around. And then your mechs and fighters are in a removable tray there. And there's one of these for all 8 colors. We're going to set them in the back here, I think. There's your yellow, orange, purple, green, pink, blue, black, and red. Then we got, what else can you see on the camera here? Of course, this just sits on top because we don't really have a spot for that. But we have a nice tray here with all of our tiles. And they originally had these separated out, I think, in single planet systems, double planet systems, and things like that. I have mine separated out a little bit differently, but these are all the starter systems in the back. I'm not sure. Those are all the warp lanes. Then we have, I think, the base game. Or is it these, the base game? I don't know. I have mine separated out differently. But you have the base game ones in there, the expansion ones in there, and then the red. I think they have the red-backed hazardous systems on their own. And then, I don't think the 2 wormholes are in there with Mechatol, but nice way of separating them out. I originally had these all in order, numerical order, because we were using pre-built maps, but I don't do that anymore because we do the draft thing to build our own maps each game, so doesn't really work anymore for that. Next thing we have here is for the cards. Now, there's a couple different ways you can separate these out. I have mine again. They had them, I think, separated single planet, double planet, and whatnot, and I kind of mixed them all together here. But there's two different variants of this. I think this is version 2, which has more space. These dividers were thicker on some, but I like them this way. The only complaint I have is my sleeves are slightly oversized, so they kind of fit tight if they're straight, but you put them in at a slight angle, and you have plenty of room to spare there. There's plenty of room in here to add more action cards and things too, because we're going to get more codexes in the future, I hope. Codex III, none of that stuff is in here yet, so there's that. But yeah, you have all your action cards here, you have all your agenda cards here. I think on this side we have our relic cards, and that does have some of the codex ones in it. Secret objectives, Mechatol here. I think there's a section for legendary planets and then regular planets, however you want to split those up. This whole row is planets, and then you have your tier 1 and tier 2 objective cards. So again, a little bit of a tight fit with the sleeves that I used, but plenty of room in there, and as you can see, everything is sleeved, so that's something everybody looks for in an insert. Next down here, these are just some papers. My thank you for the person who gave me the game. I want to keep them in there just because. Then we go here, we have all of our exploration decks. And again, these are a little tight with the sleeve cards. Without sleeve cards, there's plenty of room. They still fit in there. It's just keep in mind it's a tight fit. But the one thing that did annoy me about this, though, was that you have your exploration decks, but not a spot for the relic deck. So you still need a place for the relic deck on the table. But you can just set this right on the table and draw your cards right out of it. So it's very nice. Has a cover to keep them from dumping when they're in the box. I like the way that came out. Like that. Next here we have this token tray. And this thing I love. Has all your various different tokens all separated out. I can turn it around here. These are a little hard to get to for big sausage fingers like me, but they have a thumb thing in the bottom so you can lift them up. So that makes it way easier. They are very tight fit if they're mix matched in how you put them in here. If you can see, I don't know if you can really tell, but these are actually been ordered so that they're all like the curved side up. That's just me being OCD. You don't have to do that. They will fit. You can see there's a little bit of extra room on the top of each. It'll just fill them right to the top. In here we have our strategy cards. And then on this side you have your other miscellaneous tokens. I had an extra box printed over from a different insert that I made for a different game, and I used it for all the little plus tokens there, the little reminder tokens, just because I think it keeps it a little cleaner and nicer. But that fits right down in there. Now that I got all the other tokens in the way, it fits right down in there, and then yeah, all your miscellaneous tokens go in there. But again, this is something we just stick right on the table and play right out of that. It makes things for setup and tear down much easier. We're going to stick this in the back since it's taller. There we go. And then we have a couple other things in here. The big one, this is just literally a spacer box. And it levels things off so they stack properly on top of it. The tile board actually fits in this little slot here. The tray that has all the system tiles in it. And this holds your two odd-shaped system tiles. But more or less, that one is just a filler box to take up some space and level things off for the other stuff. And then finally down in here, which I can't get all on camera, we have all the different race trays. Now, there are 3, I think, that sit on this side that go up a layer that are the small size. These are all small ones. Then they have the 5 down here that are for the extra races. So all the races that have extra tokens, please keep all of your command tokens and flags down there. And then they have, these ones have a little extra slot for your tokens. And then, of course, all the cards that go to each race get slotted in here. And again, the extra token ones, they're actually labeled as extra. They have that extra slot in there for the tokens to go in. are a tight fit for my sleeve cards, but again, they do fit in there. They're just not going to come out. They're snug, I guess is the best way to put it. But then these will go in like that. And you have a box like that for every faction. I'm going to move this down, stick those out. So again, the 5 bigger factions that have extra tokens have these slightly bigger boxes. And then you get into the normal race boxes. All the rest of the races share these smaller boxes. In the bottom half, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just a little bit small, or a little bit shorter. And then the card ones here don't have that extra slot in them. Oddly enough, these ones are a perfect fit for my sleeved cards. And they're even loose enough, yeah, where the cards will fall out. I just don't know why. For some reason, it must be off by a millimeter or two. Those taller, bigger ones are just a hair that they make it snug. But you got these for all of the rest of the races, which make it super easy when you want to play. You can just grab the factions that you want. Everything you need is right in that tray. Pair one of these with one of the player ship boxes, and you're good to go. The neat thing is, I don't know why I'm taking all these out, but just for reference, so people can see how many of these there really are. 24 races in total between the base game and the expansion. And now, thanks to Codex III, we have a 25th race, which I have the tray for, but I don't have the tokens yet. They are on the way. Ordered them from a big group buy thing, so can't wait for those. It's going to be a while before those come in. But in this insert, the way it was designed, there's another, and it's kind of off camera here, there's a little spacer that goes here. And again, it has little supports to help things above it. But I found that if you leave that out, there's just enough room, because it's like an L shape like this. There's just enough room for one extra race box for that 25th race, which is perfect. And it also lets you print. This is actually from a different insert. I'll see if I can find the link to that and post it. I did have to trim it slightly. As you can see, this side's a little bit shorter than this side. I don't know if it shows on camera very well, but there is a box that sits on top of this, and you got to trim this down a quarter inch or so, just so it sits flush on there. Otherwise, it'll lift that up. Doesn't do anything really. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything if it is lifted up, but it makes everything fit cleaner if you shave that down a little. But this holds the race draft cards here, so you can look through all the different stats of the races. I think these are from Codex II. But it holds those with room to spare, honestly. So you actually have room to add extra in there. And, of course, there'll be one more in there coming. But that's just a little something extra I printed off on the side. Like I said, I'll see if I can find the file for that to add. It was part of a Captain is Dead insert, I think. But that is a look at everything that is in the insert there. If I can get it all in the camera. There's a lot of junk in there. And I just realized that has his name on it. Hopefully it wasn't rateable, but I don't think he minds. But yeah, that's everything that is in this insert, and it all fits snugly back into the box. Like I said, the little bit of lid lift I do believe is from the extra books that I have in there and from the laminated boards. So if you don't laminate your player boards and you leave out the 2 lore books, I think you might even be able to get everything in there with the lid snug. And that will include all of the content from Codex 1, 2, and 3 when it's out there in the wild. Now if I can get it all back in the box, that's the trick. But it fits in pretty easily, and I'll put links to the files to print this down below. Keep in mind that it is a lot of plastic. I think I went through 2.5 spools of plastic printing these out. These things take a massive amount of time to do as well. I believe it was 17 hours per tray for those, and there's 8 of those trays. You could cut that down considerably if you use a larger nozzle, and that would allow you to print them considerably faster. This was the other one that was just a massive amount of time. I think this was over a 24-hour tray. But yeah, it's so helpful, and it's such a convenience to have during a game that I can't imagine playing without it now. So Anyway, that is a look at my storage solution and insert for Twilight Imperium. Hope you guys liked it. Links are in the description below. Leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next video.